Hi, this is your Professor Joseph Komrosky. Welcome to this little mini lecture of History of Modern Philosophy. So you're in Phil 20B, and this is the class that meets Tuesday, Thursday, 9:45 to 11:10. So I went over many things in class, but just in case you didn't get everything, I'm just going to go over a quick video to just catch you up to speed. So my office hours are Tuesdays 1 to 3, Wednesdays 11:30 to 1:30. If you come to my office outside of those times, I might not be here. If you need support with Canvas, there's the number. And then you give them this number right here. Sorry, that number. And they can actually remote right into your class and view it the way you view it. So if you have any problems, call them. Email me right here at my email address. Don't email me through Canvas. Email me through my address. Kind of already went over overview. The best thing to do right now is buy the 8th edition book. And like I said in class, here's a link. You can, rent it, buy it used, something like that. Or what I've done is I've actually sent out an announcement that my book is at the library on reserve. So you can rent out my book for 2 hours, photocopy it, do whatever you want. You just can't take it out of the library. And I offer that to you as a free resource. So if you're financially challenged, there you go. Otherwise, buy your book. You cannot pass this class unless you have a book. You will not be able to pass your quizzes or do your paper. So you actually need the book. All right, so here you go. Get that. I already went over the weekly quizzes, things like that. Extra credit challenge, I went over that in class. Well, in the next couple of days, I'll actually have a video up here explaining everything all over again. So you can click on the video. Class attendance policy, I already went over that. Once again, don't miss 6 of my classes or you're dropped with an F. The things that I will excuse are things like a jury duty, doctor's note, family emergency, but you're going to have to tell me about those. No plagiarism. Don't take somebody else's work from another class and put it in here. Don't copy internet sites, paragraphs from sites, put it in your assignment and then tell me that, it's yours. You must quote everything you do. So, I'm helping molding you to be a more successful student that way. It's not bad to quote somebody like, hey, they said this and I want to add to it. If you're telling me that you said all these things and they're not yours, it's plagiarism. It's not becoming of a student. Course calendar. So I emphasize this. In the first week, you have to do the syllabus quiz and the getting to know you discussion forum. I'll click on those in a minute. They're both due Sunday night. You have all week long to do your chapter 16 quiz. Simply read 20 pages. Here they are. There. If I have time, I'll make a supplemental little mini lecture on this, but if I don't, you don't need it. You just need to read the pages to be able to do your quiz. So that's basically life in the first week here. Okay, that's all you need to focus on. When you get into week 2, you'll have another chapter, you'll have another quiz, then you'll have a discussion, a weekly discussion, and I'll kind of show you that. But for now, I think what I'll do is have all your quizzes due Thursday morning at the beginning of class. So basically, that's when they'll be due on Canvas, at the start of class. So at 9:45 on every Thursday, that's when your quiz is due. And let me just go down. Yeah, and you pretty much have one quiz per week. That way, what it allows me is 2 class periods to go through a whole chapter. As many of the important parts of the chapter that we can, and it kind of sets you up to be able to do your quiz along with you doing your own reading. It holds you accountable when you do a quiz. That way I know you've done the reading or attempted to, and then you'll be better put in a position to answer your weekly discussion questions. Now, when you do a reading for the first time, I don't expect you to understand everything you read. You might, but if you don't, especially when we get to Kant, I don't even understand everything I read. I've been doing this for a long time. But that's what I'm for. I'll help shepherd you through the ideas in class. And some of these are difficult ideas and some are not. But so the point is you don't have to master everything you read, But if you do the reading once, you'll be able to take your quiz. And the beauty about the quizzes, and I said this in class, is you can take them 3 times. So let's go. And last but not least, these are the important dates. All your discussion questions are due. First paper, final paper, and then extra credit. Let's go back up to modules right here. So when you go to modules, syllabus orientation quiz, you get 3 attempts, 10 questions, super easy. Got to do it before Sunday night, 11:59, or you'll be dropped from the class. Welcome activity, getting to know you. I think I've already posted mine. You got 6 questions about yourself. They're pretty easy. You got to post a picture, and you got to respond to one other student. So I've done mine right here. I'm telling you about my hobbies, PhD that I'm doing, a picture that makes me relax. Well, I'm a surfer. I surf at Cardiff Beach in North San Diego County. Once in a while, I'll surf at Doheny Beach in Orange County. And we have Mabel. She's already posted. Oh, I like that picture. So she's answered the question. She's posted a picture, and then she's going to wait till somebody else responds and then comment on them, unless she does that with me. So that's pretty much what I'm wanting you to do before Sunday night. How I'll grade you. See these 3 dots up here? That show rubric. Real simple. Did you answer the questions? Here's a point breakdown. Did you comment on somebody else? Real easy. Really hard to fail that first assignment. So you got that in the quiz. It shows me that you're engaged. It's social. We get to know each other. I'll talk about some of these posts when I'm in class. It'll be fun. And then a question answer form. You don't have to use this, but if you want to ask a question that the whole class will see, then everybody sees it. So I teach this same class online, but it's really condensed into 8 weeks. And one student says, hey, on chapter 16, you say that you'll have a video, but it's not there. And I responded to her and I said, oh, sometimes I'll put videos of my own up, but you will not need those. Those are just supplemental. I'll do them hit and miss. I'm kind of working on recording my own videos here. All you'll really need to do is read the section that I gave you to be able to take the quiz. But most of the time, I'll actually post videos from the YouTube that aren't even mine. They're really like well done professional videos. I'll post those in there too. But that being said, chapter 16, if in the next few days I have time to do a little mini lecture, I'll post it. Otherwise, you don't need it to take the quiz. For your Descartes quiz, I think I have a video there already. I think. Yeah, there's a video, and it's a fun video, by the way. And it's something that I would do, but it's professionally done. So I might even have my own little video under that. But for now, that's a cool video. Read these pages. You're good to go. You have everything you need to do this quiz. And so here's something that I highlight right here. In order to be fully prepared for the quiz, you will need to read and understand pages blah. Now, when I say read and understand, I just said you don't need to understand everything, but if you do a reading at least once, you'll be put in a position to be able to pass your quiz, be able to get 100. But here's what I said in class too. But each quiz has about 15 to 20 questions. Some even have 30 questions. And each time you take the quiz, it randomly pulls 10 of those out. So you'll take a 10-question quiz. If you ace it, you are done. That's it. If you don't ace it, you have 2 more opportunities to take the quiz, but the quiz might be different because it pulls 10 questions, 10 new questions each time. So that's just to prevent cheating. But I gave you 3 attempts. So these are pretty easy. Just do the reading. What I would do is do the reading first, then watch a video. And here's why. If you go through the reading and you struggle with a certain section in your mind, you think, I'm not really clear on this, but I think this is what it means. By the time you get to a video, and maybe even my video, you might say, oh, I was right. So try to struggle through the reading first, then watch the video. It's more rewarding that way. I mean, you can do this any way you want. You can watch the video first, then do the reading. But I'm just saying, I would advise reading first. Because then you get to practice struggling through an idea, and you might think to yourself, okay, this is easy, I get it. And then you watch the video and you say, yeah, I was right. Or you watch the video and say, oh, I misread that. I didn't understand what he meant. So it just gives you a chance to engage in a different mode of learning, one through video and audio and one through just reading. So again, 3 chances. So first week, hit module. So first week, 3 things, or 4 things actually. Syllabus quiz, welcome activity, getting to know you. You got to get your book, and then do your reading. Take your, chapter 16 quiz. And I extend this all the way out to Sunday night. So you have now all the way to Sunday night to do these 3 things. Easy. And every week after that, we'll do these activities. You'll pretty much have a quiz every single week, 3 attempts to take it. I'll try to post videos to everything. And then you already have for week 2, I don't know if I opened it up yet. Anyways, week 2's discussion will be this. I will ask you a question from chapter 16, and I will ask you, this is different. On this one, I just ask you 2 questions about Descartes. That's right. So I teach an online class and I teach an in-class. I do different questions for each class. They're totally different. So in this one, both questions are on Descartes. And I've got to update this for you, but it's actually 4 things. 2 questions you got to answer. The third is, what do you think about one of these? I'm going to ask you, what do you think about, what Descartes has said? I mean, in one sense, you have to give me an answer. I'm asking you for factual information to show me that you understand it. And in another sense, I actually want to know, what do you think about it? And then last but not least, you're going to make a reply to another student. So let me do this. While I am doing this, I'm going to edit this right in front of you. I'm going to go to my other online class because they have. So right here. Just a second. So do you think, there now, here's your class, and voila. So you have Descartes' question. You have 2 of them. What do you think about the main question? For this part, if there's more than one, pick 1, 2, comment. In this particular one, for Descartes, I'm going to want you to tell me what you think about question 1, because 2 is more personal. I'm asking you about a dream, and you're already telling me what you think. So for number 3, you're going to refer back to number 1 and tell me what you think about the answer, or about what Descartes thinks about this, okay? And then number 4, make a response to another student. And again, don't just say, hey man, that's really cool. Say, I liked your response. It made me think in this way. Give me, more detail. Explain it. And yes, it's already available to you. So this is already, you can already view this for week 2. So here it is, week 2 questions for Descartes. And if you want to see how I grade you, it's 3 dots, right? And by the way, when I do that, it's just me showing you, hey, focus on that part of the page. No rubric. Right here. Criteria. Did you answer the questions I wanted you to? What did you think? Did you respond to one of those questions? Tell me what you actually think about what the author says. Did you respond to a classmate? And did you turn this in on time? Each of these has a different point value. So it's as simple as that. So your survival guide, and I said this in class, is you have quizzes. This just tells me, do you know enough about the reading? Then you have your weekly discussion questions. This helps you engage on your own viewpoint about an author, right? And why do I do this? Because the very foundation of this class is about the great conversation. What is the great conversation? Well, I'll show you. See this bookshelf behind me? This book set that I bought called The Great Books of the Western World is about $800 and something. Really expensive, but it's mind-boggling. So the book that you use for this class The Great Conversation is premised off of the main book in this set called The Great Conversation. And what it does is it reviews things called great ideas. And it starts from the pre-Socratic times all the way to the modern, right? And there's at least 62 great ideas, and we'll cover some of these in this class. That's the Great Conversation. For example, I'll read you some of these ideas. And there's a lot of them, so I'm just going to try to throw out as many as I can. Angel, animal, aristocracy, art, astronomy and cosmology, beauty, being, cause, chance, citizen, constitution, experience, evolution, eternity, emotion, element, dialectic, desire, labor, language, law, life and death, logic, love, man, mathematics, mechanics, history, honor, hypothesis, idea, immortality, punishment, religion, revolution, rhetoric, science. Here's one, sign and symbol. Interesting. Slavery, soul, space, wealth, war and peace, virtue and vice, truth, theology, temperance, state. There are many more ideas that I didn't list, but so if you ever visit me off in my office hours, you can actually look at this book. So your weekly discussion question will be engaging into some of these great ideas by some of these authors. And what it is the conversation that started over 2,000 years ago by the pre-Socratic philosophers, right? And they'll take an idea, they'll say, hey, what is reality? And then some guy might say, like Thales, you don't need to know him for this class. He thought reality was made of water. What? You might say, that's just crazy. But he had a reason for it, right? Because he said, well, most of the earth is covered with water. So he started there, right? And then somebody else comes along, he's like, I don't know about that, man. And they're building off of one idea to the next, right? So it's kind of an evolution of ideas all the way till now. So you might say, in this semester with the modern philosophers, we're going to see how they've contributed to ideas that were start, or great ideas that were start more than 2,000 years ago, and what they think now. And that's where you come in. On your weekly discussion forums, you're going to tell me what you think. And what you're doing on these weekly discussion forums throughout the semester, you're building a muscle, an intellectual muscle, that by the time you get to your paper, you will be able to pretty much write, on a major philosopher and how you disagree with them, because you've already been practicing that every week, okay, in your discussion forums. So back to modules. So I'm kind of training you on different levels at once. And the main goal is to be able to express yourself. So here's one thing about this class. I don't want you to know what I think about this class. I want you to think about what you think about this class, meaning when you read about Hume, how does Hume strike you, or Kant, or Wittgenstein, or Descartes? Because ultimately, there's a bunch of truth out there. There's a lot of truth out there, and we're trying to get at it. You can only memorize so much, right? Certain things will stand out to you more significantly than they do me. Certain things will stand out to you more negatively or more positively. You might say, man, I disagree with that. And you might disagree with me. Great. It's not about what I think, it's about what you think. So I want you to practice critical thinking on your own, okay? And for some of you, that's really difficult. You're not used to doing that, but I'm going to help you learn how to do that. So you'll be practicing these intellectual skills, right? And then by the time you get to week 7, first paper, and I'll create a separate video for this, by the way, on your first paper. It'll literally walk you through everything you need to do. But for now, you're going to write a paper and you're going to be telling me, hey, I give you 2 topics. You're going to have to pick a philosopher that you think gives you the best life for a human being to live. Or pick a philosopher that gives you the best overall picture of reality. Those are 2 general topics. I want you to pick one of them for your first paper. Pick one philosopher, and then start talking about them. So what you've got to do is, I explain it all right here, and I'll set up another video for it during that time. And don't worry about this date in January. I'll take that off right now. It's the same paper I use in my ancient class, just different philosophers. So go. Okay. And once again, I'll put up a separate video for this. And this is only worth, I think, 15% of your grade, I think, whatever it is. You have to look at that. Actually, I'll do it real quick. So first paper, 10% of your grade. So it's a lighter grade, and it gets you used to writing critically, thinking about these philosophers. Your final papers were 20% of your grade. So we're almost done here. Go to modules. Your final paper is a little different. It's kind of fun, but what I do, I make it due in the 15th week. Final paper is, it's about how you're going to raise your kids. You pick 2 philosophers you agree with and what theories you'd like them to be exposed to, and then 2 you disagree with. But again, I'll post a whole separate video up there. This was just a crash course little mini lecture on how to survive your first week here and what I expect of the course. Otherwise, you could just talk to me in class. But I hope this helps. For some of you that are super busy and missed a few details, you can have them right here. But bottom line, follow your syllabus, buy the book, do your reading, start working on your chapter 16 quiz, and I will see you in class Thursday. Thanks for listening.